Matushka and Me, Matushka and Me, Matushka and Me. Hello and welcome from Sleepy Land. Welcome to Matushka and Me, broadcasting from Sleepy Land.
Yes, you're sleepy.
Well,
I'm sleepy. You're not sleepy.
I mean, I'm so sleepy that I'm not sleepy anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know me.
Mm-hmm.
Unlimited energy. Give me your energy. Just
I
kidding.
don't have much left to give.
I know. That's not true. You already have way more energy than when before we started recording. And you're actually laughing at me.
Yeah.
Welcome to the episode of Make Matushka Laugh at All Costs. Oh yeah! Let's see what I can pack into these 15 to 20 minutes. That was good. I was able to point at you.
You did it.
That was way more improvement than I was anticipating over the 8 months we've been doing this.
Yeah, we were trying to do this whole thing,
Right.
Hands.
Well, I don't want to turn this into some kind of botany or foraging lesson, but first of all, let's say welcome to the fall, even though we're recording in the evening wee hours of Sleepy Land. Yeah, it's not that late.
It's
not that
fall.
late. It's not that late. But yes, technically fall. Actually, if we're following the church calendar,
That's right.
it's already the next day.
Already the next day.
So,
it's fall.
So it's fall already. And by the way, ding, 2 points for me because you're continuing to laugh. So, even more points. You keep laughing. And look at that. I was pointing. Right? See, it's so accurate. It looks like I'm going to hit your face. But I'm not because I'm not even close. I'm not even close.
You're not.
That's right. But
it only takes one.
One.
To go the wrong way.
See, it's an illusion. It's a camera illusion. So, welcome to fall. We're very excited for fall.
Yay.
In fact, this is really one of my more favorite times of year because, well, we have a couple of holidays coming up, which, certifiably American holidays. I'm just going to throw that out there. But in the Baldwin household, they are beloved holidays. And yes, I am mentioning Thanksgiving. There is a ban in the Baldwin household on singing the kinds of songs that you should be singing later in the year before Thanksgiving. Don't do it. We don't do that in this house. Anathema. Okay, don't even go to that channel. If you live in a place where they have that channel and they've lost their minds, and they're already playing that music.
We already do.
All right? Anathema. You do not have a blessing from Father Alexis to listen to that channel yet. Okay? After Thanksgiving. All right? After Thanksgiving. All right? Celebrate the feast first.
That's a long time.
Well, it's not that long. Especially since we are in a pandemic. I think people understand how time works a little bit better. The fact that we put behind us a year that we lost. I'm going to actually ignore that year. I pretend like it didn't exist. See, I got you going. You're still laughing. It's good. It's a good evening. It's a good evening, folks. But so Thanksgiving, and of course that belovedly controversial holiday, Halloween, which I pray to the Lord that people actually are able to celebrate Halloween in some fashion. Last year they canceled it. It was just canceled. Halloween was canceled, folks, right? So I'm praying that we're in a situation where it's a little bit more viable to celebrate that. And I realize that, of course, that makes us controversial because, we celebrate Halloween and what a bad priest and bad Matushka. A bunch of nonsense. But that's a topic for another time, I'm sure. We haven't gotten any mail before, so if somebody watches this one, we'll probably get some hate mail now. Hate mail, Father Alexis. He celebrates Halloween. Well, look, I got Irish blood. That's all. In my defense, I have Irish blood. I don't know what to say. Okay. I think we should. I don't know. Did we do a Halloween? No, we didn't. Of course we didn't. Because it hasn't even been a year yet.
September.
So we haven't even gotten to that. We're going to get to that. I promise you. We're going to get to that. I can give you a video on that, all right? I can give you a video on that, all right? But I also have to admit, well, I'll save some of that. I got some great zingers, and so I'm going to save them for that video, though. All right? Anyways, what we're talking about today is respecting your elders.
Oh, yeah.
It's a groaner. It's a knee slapper, right? In particular, I want to talk about these elders. Woo! Look at these beauties. Look at these beauties.
I need like a
Woo! It's in Matushka's face.
Wayne's World close up.
Yeah. Look at these beauties. Look at these beauties. See, Matushka? Oh no, a spider! Just kidding.
No, actually that was earlier.
That was So these this beautiful little collection of berries. They're called elderberries, and even though I'm not going to make this about foraging, elderberries grow wild and in our state, and in fact we have some growing literally right out our back door. Several large canes of elderberries. I don't know if they're called canes actually. I'm a bad forager. I don't learn the terminology. But these are identified American elderberry, and what we like to do is collect. I mean, we had a beautiful crop. I mean, I collected so much this year.
Yeah.
I've got them in the freezer as well. These are fresh berries. These beauties represent our last pick, right? And actually, all together, it's these three large clusters.
As
right?
big as my head.
So what we'll do is we separate out, because elderberries don't all ripen at the same time, right? They, the berries, it's kind of one of those tricks that nature plays on you. The berries start to ripen, and then it takes something like 5 to 15 days for the rest of them to ripen, and they grow really tiny, so you have to collect a lot. And then, of course, you're fighting the birds and everybody else that loves little berries, insects, and actually spiders, too. There's spiders on there. Little worms and things like that. But thankfully, if you have a good, collection of plants like we do, it was really crazy this year. It was intense. I collected so many elderberries, so many. I'm thankful. I'm very thankful. But, you might ask yourself, well, what are they good for? I'm glad you asked. One of the things that you can do with elderberries, in fact, I guess, I don't know. It might be the only thing you can do with them. I don't know if you can do anything else. You can make elderberry syrup. Yum, yum, yum. Now, some people will tell you that elderberry syrup is just an old folk remedy, all these things. It doesn't really work, and there's controversy about whether it works or not for flu symptoms and things like that. I mean, I have to be honest with you. I'm not about that argument. I don't care whether that's a real argument or not. We collect the elderberries. We have a recipe that we use where we boil them in water. And while it's boiling in water, and it's 30 minutes we boil them, we mash up the elderberries so that the juices will pop out of the berries, individual berries. And then after that, we take honey. I use honey. You could use other sweeteners I've seen in recipes. We take honey and we mix it in there, and then we boil it again for another 20-25 minutes. Now, on this particular batch that we made, it was from a recipe that I found online several years ago, and from a woman that was actually in New Zealand. And she put together this recipe so that you weigh out the elderberries so they're a certain weight. You have the certain amount of water that goes into it so that when you boil it down, you get 2 cups. And then from there, you add the honey, which is another cup. So you get, another 3 cups. But the point is you're supposed to boil it down again so that it makes a syrup to it, so it's another 2 cups, so that you have essentially what is like the right amount that you would take every day. Right. So for this, we made 2 cups, and it was roughly about 35 tablespoons or something like that, which is what you would take every day, 1 tablespoon a day for an adult, and then like a half a tablespoon for kids. This is not medical stuff, okay? I want to be very clear about this. This is just, I think, a fun foraging thing like that. Look, this doesn't cure anything, all right? You didn't get that from us. It doesn't cure anything, right? If you want to do this, don't come asking me. I don't have the recipe. I'm just telling you what we do in the Baldwin household. I will tell you this, though. We were very careful about identifying the elderberry. We didn't just go out and pick any little purple berries. Do not do that. The reason I know that we have elderberries is because in one of the missions that I serve, we have a professor who is also a botanist, and he is not only familiar with the state that we live in, but all the various plants that are in. And so I identify the plants through professionals, somebody who knows exactly what things are. All right, so I don't just go out and say, "Hey, this purple berry looks like elderberry, yum yum yum." No, I don't do that. I don't do that with mushrooms either. I know I had a video on mushrooms. I talk to people who absolutely know their stuff, professionals. So I'm not discouraging you from foraging or collecting elderberries or anything like that, but I am saying do not go out into your property and pick stuff and start eating it. Do not do that, right? Just like you don't have a blessing to listen to that channel before Thanksgiving. You don't have a blessing from Father Alexis to do any of that nonsense, okay? Right? Now, they used to have that thing on television when people watched television.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember watching television?
Yeah,
they used to have little disclaimers. Do not try this at home. Trained professionals are performing this, right? I'm not a trained professional. But trained professionals are the one that showed me what these things are. So I don't veer outside of that. So now that that's well established, I have to say, not only is this delicious because it has the honey in it, but it tastes like blueberries. In fact, in the Baldwin household, this is known as blueberry syrup, even though it's not blueberries.
No.
But it does have very strong blueberry flavor to it when you cook it down like that. So it's delectable. Yummy. Yum, 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 yum.
Well, and our honey is local.
Yes, we also use local honey. I won't give a shout out to the specific families who have provided us with local honey, who have their own bees, but you know who you are, and we thank you.
Yes.
We are very grateful.
Very.
All right? But we thank you for local honey. But that's what we use, local honey. We're very blessed by that. So, yeah, it's wonderful to have that. That's kind of our... I know that we're getting into the fall finally because... a lot of the last stuff that we would have collected from outside, a lot of the stuff that we would have gardened, at least in the Baldwin household, has come to a close. We don't really do canning, although I have thrown my towel into that kind of place to do it this last year. But this will probably be in the future going forward more of we are now opening the cans from the stuff that we've preserved from the spring and summer crops and whatever. Yeah, so that's a little kind of neat thing that we do. But on the topic of respecting your elders, I got that play on words, elderberries, respecting your elders. Get it? On the topic of that, I wanted to ask Matushka, I wanted to get her impressions. How does it feel when for you when we adopted all of these children? Yeah, all the children that we adopted. How does it feel? Right? I mean, how does it? What kind of? I mean, it's pretty astounding, right?
Sure.
Well, what I mean is, when you're a priest and a Matushka and you go into a parish, I've said this before. Not in a mean way, but in a certain way, as the priest of a parish or as a Matushka as a parish, you feel like whatever children that you have in your family, right? We have several in our family. We have a crew, right? But you do feel to a certain extent that your parishioners are like your children, right?
Sure.
And so I think I pose that question to you in the theme of Allah. Respect your elders, right? And more specifically, we've kind of broached this very, very gently in the past in our Ode to Matushka video. But, what are some of the things that go through your mind as the Matushka. The one. How do the one who is this little mother of the parish?
Right. That's what I keep thinking of.
What are some things that you do to keep your sanity, right? Because as parents of children, you often have these mechanisms. You have these things that you do, to take a little breathing room and stuff like that. But I wonder, for a Matushki, what do Matushki do? Since I'm not a Matushka, I wouldn't know. See, the hits keep coming. Got her laughing all day. Take it away, little mama.
I wouldn't say all day, but just now.
We'll see.
What do I do to help me, I guess, get... I guess a lot of the times I just, if there's something that I need, or I just ask people, a lot of the time.
Why don't you give us an example?
I know, I was going to say, let me give you an example. So, sometimes I like to reach out to other Matushki. We have a whole,
connected web.
Facebook kind of thing that
The
sometimes
Matushki
I love.
are organized.
I don't know if we're... Okay, we'll score it. We're getting there. So it's nice to kind of connect with them and kind of, get their ideas, or sometimes they just post really funny things that are just great to...
I don't want you to give any. I don't want you to give away any Matushki trade secrets here.
No.
But kind of this connectivity you have with other Matushki is a huge help in helping you as a Matushka in a community.
Right, and I highly suggest getting together for retreats once a year or twice a year. We used to go to a monastery for a few days, and we would just, some of us Matushki would give little talks about different topics. And then one day we would just have kind of that day of rest and hanging out and doing stuff, together. So I think that's kind of my, go-to stuff to get by.
Good. I mean, like I said, I'm not a Matushka, so who am I to judge your answer?
I guess you can.
Yeah, that's true. I can only take you at your word. But that leads me up to this, tantalizing follow-up question.
Oh, no.
Just as amazing. In terms of parents respecting your elders and such, as it were, right? So you spoke just now a little bit about how you as a Matushka can kind of recharge a little bit, right? How you get a little bit of support, and I think that's really great. You mentioned other Matushki. I have a good question related to that, and that is this. And I know so many people are going to hate me for asking this, but that's okay. If you send me hate mail, at least we got mail, right?
I think he wants you to send him.
Well, I don't want hate mail, but I'm just saying we haven't really received any mail from our videos. I know people are watching the videos, but nobody's. I have to admit there is a little bit of this kind of reality where I think I know pretty much everybody who's watching our YouTube videos. And we talk to them pretty regularly anyways.
We do.
So they probably don't feel inclined to email us. They've probably texted us already by the time they go to email us. So that's fine. But, the email line is open, folks. Wide open. But having said that, I think a good follow-up question is, and everybody's going to hate this. They really are. It's fine. Glad you, if you do, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. Either way, it's fine. It's fine. On the topic of respecting your elders. As a parent, there are often things that your children do that make it, a little challenging as a parent. So having said that, how do I ask this question the way I want to ask? My hair is just awesome tonight. Just awesome. We're going to get to that in a minute. Not my hair. Well, kind of. It's related. Man, see, and this is like 20 minutes of you laughing. It is great. Okay, so let's see. Strategically asking this question. What are some things, or what are some ways in which the average parishioner can help you? I knew I was going to ask this too. Help you effectively have your ministry as a Matushka. Because it's a very particular ministry, right? It's a very particular aspect of parish life. And I think the reality is that, people love priests. They love their Matushka. They love the service of the priesthood and the service of the church. But I don't know that this question is asked often. So I bring it up because here we have a real live Matushka. And I'm telling you right now, people are not going to ask this question. They're not going to ask him the Matushka either. So I'm the one who gets to ask this question because I'm
the bad guy, huh?
Well, at least I get to be the fool. I get to be the fool anyways. But I think it goes with the theme of respect your elders, right? And it's funny because in a parish, you're not the oldest person, right? Oftentimes the priest and the Matushki are actually not the oldest person. But in a sense, there is an eldership that is appropriate to show a kind of, I know, again, people aren't going to like this word, but deference, right? Not because priests and Matushka put on some high pedestal because they're better than everybody, but because there is a recognition of the office of the priest and the priest's wife and the service and the ministry that they give to the church, and it's right to recognize that. So I asked that question to you in light of that, because I'm not sure that everybody will think to ask that, and I think it's a good question that we should ask ourselves. I'll just be honest with you, I ask this question a lot, right? Because I talk with other priests, I talk with other Matushki, and, we're living the mission life for real, down here in the big MS, we are. So, because we're living the mission life for real, I pray for all of our other priests and Matushki and mission life. I pray for our parishioners, our missions, and our parishes regularly. I know this sounds crazy, but I worry about people. I worry about other communities. I want to see all of our churches everywhere, not just in the United States, but everywhere. I want to see them thrive. And I think that this is a question that's important along those lines. So, without further ado, question 2, take it away.
Okay. What can people do to help us?
Well, not us.
Me.
Matushki are really good at this. About y'all, about us. No. I'm saying, what can people in the parish do to help strengthen you and support you and your ministry as a Matushka? What can the average parishioner do?
Well, definitely, first and foremost, just praying for us all the time.
That's why she's my better 3/4, folks. I knew it. It's first answer.
All the time.
I got it. All right. Okay. All right. Good answer. It's kind of like when you don't know the answer to a theological question, you say Jesus. Jesus Christ. It's Jesus Christ. I'm not putting you down. It's good. We always start with prayer. Let's get a little more nuts and bolts, though. Let's get a little nuts and bolts.
Yes.
Utility boots kind of work.
Well, with that,
nitty gritty.
With that being the utmost importance, prayer.
Okay.
When
Double emphasis there. Double emphasis. Okay, got it. Underlined. I got it. Okay, I'm with you.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Respect your elders. All right.
I don't know. That's all I got.
Nope.
Just pray for us.
Nope.
Think about us often.
Nope.
Pray.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
We're at like the 25-minute mark. I'm gonna get another answer now before this video is over. And we still got one more thing to talk about. So, oh yeah.
Wait.
Oh yeah.
Now we can use the we.
Well, there's always we.
Okay.
But I'm asking you. Right? No you and we. Ooh. There's a me and team though. There's no we in team. Zing! All right.
I don't know. That's all. That's really.
I know you keep saying that's all, but there's other things. I
Other things.
know you're very humble and modest, but we just gotta want one thing. Just give us one little tiny.
Yeah. So, prayer
I know. You got 5 here.
and prayer.
Yep, I got it. It's double prayer. Pray. You know,
Yeah.
pray times 3. It's orthodox. I got it. Pray 40x. Pray 1000x. I got it.
40.
We got the pray part. But we done something more personal to this Matushka.
Oh, for me?
Well, that's why I use the word me. Actually, in the form of you, but
Yeah,
not
you were
denoting we.
saying Matushki.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Turn that we upside down. Me. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
What,
prayer
Yeah.
and prayer.
I know. I got it.
I don't know. That's all I can really muster tonight.
This is like round 3, going on like 3 minutes of this. You got to give us something. Give us a little more. Just one more thing.
I don't know. Because that's just so important.
We know it's important. We got you. We're right there with you, on the same level. But we're gonna a little more.
I don't know. I guess just have a smile on your face when you greet me.
Yeah. Kindness. That's a good answer. I mean, that's a good answer. Why? Why not? Why not? Why not?
That's it.
Yeah.
Just being kind, I guess.
Right. I think it's a good answer. Well, I mean, what could I add to that? What could I say? Prayer and kindness? Oh, boo! Right? No, that's not going to happen. So, I mean, that's fine. That's great. That's wonderful. It's a great answer. I think that kind of leads us into the next scenario. Of course, I talk with many people about our situation on a regular, so, and by our situation, I mean just our ministry and how we travel around and serve the missions that we serve. It's really a huge blessing. It does take a particular set of personalities to accomplish this task, which is fine. Everybody's unique. Everybody has their own kind of stock. But it reminded me today. I thought, wow, how does it feel? What's a way to describe it? Yo-yo. Woo! Up and down, right? Back and forth.
Yeah. Okay.
The other thing
roller coaster.
I was thinking of they don't call them, what do they call them? I think they call them roly-polies or what. Those little things that were weighted at the bottom of those toys, and you kind of hit them and they go.
No, roly-poly is an insect.
I know roly-poly is an insect, but there was a little
wobble.
Wobble.
Bobbleheads?
No, it's not a bobblehead. I didn't say a head. I said the little toys. They're shaped like an egg and they're weighted at the bottom. We had them when we were kids, and you could hit them and they would never fall over because they're weighted at the bottom.
Yeah. What do they call them?
Yeah. Anyways.
Email us.
Nobody's going to answer that one. Nobody's going to answer that one. I challenge you to answer that. They're not going to do it, though. That's not going to do it. But if you do it, I'd be pleasantly surprised. I'd be very happy. But also that led to, like the sandbag blow up, punch them.
Yes, that's
things.
what I was thinking.
But I'm thinking of the little toy. So
Okay,
ministry, I think, is a lot like that, to be honest, in our situation. Especially the blow up, punching toy, because, that's what it's like. Matushka is exhausted tonight, but I said, no, let's do a video. She's like, I can't do a video. That's why we were broadcasting from Sleepyland. But here, I've got her cracking up for the full 25, cracking up. She said, well, it's not for the whole night. Yeah, I got her cracking up. That's right. But that's what our ministry, I think, is a lot like. We're like, every time we get a big whammy, like, I'm tired, wham. It's like, woo, come right back for more. Right? Or, some obstacle happens. Wham! Come right back for more. Right? Matushka says she's low on energy, but I assure you, it's not the case, folks. It's not the case. But I think there's a certain blessedness in that. Obviously, we can't go on forever. Right. None of us can. But that's okay, because the Lord gives us the grace that we need to get through the situations and the scenarios we find ourselves in. Mm-hmm. He's the one that supplies all the blessings for our ministry and for our vocation. Mm-hmm. And so, if the worst part of it is we're a little extra tired, there's always time to make up the sleep sometime. It happens. And Matushka says no. You don't.
That's untrue. Untrue.
You don't see how this lady sleeps, so y'all don't know. I'm telling you. Untrue. When you were younger, you were getting up at 5 and whatever. I mean, I guess you're doing that now too.
That's right.
There was a solid decade. There was a solid decade where it wasn't even possible to get you out of bed before 7:30. A solid decade. All right. Right. So.
Yes, but you sound like I sleep like 8 hours a night, which. No.
Whether you sleep 8 hours a night or you sleep 12 hours throughout the day taking naps, it's all sleep. The point is, there's always time to sleep. Whether that's Saturday morning. I mean.
Not on the Saturday morning.
Not Sunday. Don't you dare sleep in on Sunday. Go to church. But other days, don't miss work, but sleep in, right? I mean, also,
sleep in, but don't miss work.
You might give this a try. Go to bed early. Oh! Yeah, but...
I tried that tonight. It didn't work.
Well... Anyways, that's a story for another time. We'll talk about sleeping habits in this household another time. The truth is that if we're honest, many of us in America procrastinate sleep and stay out far too late doing nothing, right?
Like 18 hours.
Right. If you're tired, take a nap. If you're sleepy, go to bed, right? But I think the actual problem is people are scared they might get up early. God forbid we wake up at 6 a.m. Oh my gosh, Father, ridiculous. Well, I don't do this anymore, but for a solid 3.5 years, I got up at 3:30. Mm-hmm. So if I can do it, trust me, you can do it too. Mm-hmm. Get up early. I mean, you don't get up at 3:30. You don't have to. It's okay. But I think there's a certain kind of interestingness about that cycle of life. Returning to our theme about respect your elders, and that is, we've got our kids. They never want to take naps. They don't want to go to bed. And now that we're tired in life, we're like, oh my gosh, are you for real? I want to sleep. You don't want to sleep, right? I want to sleep. So there's that cycle, right? Right? But I guess, you realize the value of sleep as you get older, right? So I think that's a blessedness of maturity and age. It's as you say, hey, it's okay. Tired, take a nap. Sleepy, go to bed early. It's okay. You can do that. It's all right. Now, for all of you who are ahead of the curve and already do that, God bless you. And don't you dare start listening to that channel before Thanksgiving. All right? Right? And also, don't go pick crazy stuff out in your yard and your forest without a professional. Just because you've got one thing right doesn't mean you get to do other things too. All right? Stick with the advice of the professionals. All right? And I think that's also a good way to close our theme on respecting your elders. If you're going to stick with the advice of professional people who are experienced, I think part of the wisdom of understanding that we respect our elders is knowing that that's the role that people have in our society as elders. That's also the role that people in the church have in their vocation, whether it be a priest or Matushka, or whether it be somebody like a beloved archpriest in your church, or your bishop, right? There's inherent in it a coherency, an intelligibility about that way of life, and I do think that we've gotten away from it. Sorry to strike such a somber note, but we did spend 25 minutes laughing. So. I think it's a good way to conclude on that. So I hope that you are as excited about fall and cooler weather as I am. If you're not, that's okay. You just don't know any better, and that's fine. As we might say in the South, bless your heart. Right? But no. As an aside, just as a joke, just jokingly, I'm very excited. This is my favorite time of year. Really, it truly is, especially because of the changing color of the leaves. We don't get a very long season here, but we do get somewhat of a season like that, and I really like that. I like that time because it means that the bugs have left. And that we can sit out by a fire pit. We can enjoy, some family time outside with the cooler weathers before it gets super cold. Because yes, it does actually get super cold here. And if you watched our kind of inaugural videos, sometimes it even snows. All right. So I am kind of excited for the snow, as long as I could actually endure another frostocalypse as well. So. If nature wants to bring that this coming year, I'm okay, because we're actually a little bit more prepared.
I was gonna say
we got a generator this time, but I'm very much looking forward to cooler weathers, and things that go along with the cooler weather.
We can't listen to that channel, but can we have pumpkin?
Oh my gosh, you had to do that to me? We're going to save this for another video, which will be more fall festive video. But we will definitely answer that question that Matushka asked, can we have pumpkin? And I will not solve the debate on pumpkin spice, but I will talk a little bit about it for you, okay? And I'll tell you what we do. But until then, keep us in your prayers. Definitely know that we're praying for you as well. And please, don't send us hate mail. Send us mail, though. Send us email. Don't send us hate mail. We love you. Okay, we do. We truly love you. And love mail. Send us love mail, right? Say, the show is great. Kind mail. Kind mail. Kindness mail. Yeah, we should TM that. Kind mail. TM. Have fun sending kind mail. TM. So, yeah. So we hope that you enjoy your fall and you're getting ready and geared up for cooler weather and the season that come, for those blessed feast days of Halloween and Thanksgiving. And
enjoy your pumpkin spice.
We're looking forward to our next videos. All right. God bless you. Bye.